For some reason, when it comes to be the spoopy time of year, it always seems to be my turn to review a game. This has now happened 2 years in a row, and it feels like Halloween's just going to be my time to shine on the channel. While a few new games have come out recently, I want to review one that I'm still waiting on, and that's Luigi's Mansion 3. I've always wanted to play the game, and I find its concept to be interesting and honestly seems right up my alley for a game series. It doesn't fully scare me, but it sets the mood perfectly for what Halloween is. So, at E3, when I heard that they were going to be making a new one and fully showing it off as well, I was excited, and I was, excited beyond belief, if I'm going to be perfectly honest. I was even more excited to know I was going to be able to play the game. And then, to top off all that excitement, I heard the game was coming out on Halloween, which just seemed like a match made in heaven. So why am I telling you all this? It's because tomorrow being Halloween, I just can't wait to sit down and play that game properly for a good long while, and it may even be my next review. I don't know, there's a long list of games I want to review, and there's even more coming out, so it's like I'm screaming internally. But I felt like there's no better game to look at on the eve on the latest game in the franchise's release. God, that was a really weird sentence to say. As well as on the eve of Halloween. So today, on That Game Review Show, my name is Terrell, and I'm going to be taking a look at the GameCube classic, Luigi's Mansion. The game starts off with a fairly simple premise. As Luigi, you head to your new mansion that you just won in a contest. But upon arriving, you find that it is completely filled with ghosts. And when you think you're just about to become that ghost's new plaything, Professor Egad shows up trying to suck that ghost boy up like there's no tomorrow. But after he's not able to get it, the two of you talk, and one thing leads to another. You guys run away from a ghost, and he asks you to go collect the ghost for him, as his old age just can't handle it anymore. All this while you go looking for Mario, who went missing checking out the place a few days earlier. Also, by the way, this was all a ruse, and you won a haunted mansion. Fun times, right? Anyway, after your convo with the doc, you finally get a chance to mess with his new ghost hunting weapon of choice, the Poltergeist 3000, also known as one hell of a strong vacuum. Giving you two different choices for controls, the game will then give you a tutorial on how the game plays, and what you'll be tracking your progress by. You'll be collecting ghosts that have escaped from the paintings as part of Egad's gallery, as well as you'll be sucking up any other ghosts that may stand in your way. I chose to play with the standard control loadout, so I can't speak to how the other one's sidestep works, but I must press on. The game feels like it is interesting to control at times. It doesn't feel bad, but it's just definitely aged. And for the time, it worked out really well. You use the main stick to walk around and the C-stick to aim the vacuum. It's also fair to say that the C-stick is inverted and there isn't really any way to change that, so that's why I really don't like it. I can't do inverted that well, I always have to think about it, but it's okay for the time and for this being the first game. Everything else is kind of expected except for a couple of the face buttons, so as you would expect, right trigger is to suck up the ghosts, left trigger is how to shoot special projectiles, if you have them or if it's a special effect. The rest of the buttons, A is, interact. Map and menus are a little weird, being mapped to Y and Z respectively. And then there is X, and we're going to get to X in just a second. But as part of how you actually capture ghosts, you'll need to stun them with either a flashlight or a special trigger, which you can find by pressing X and taking a picture of their heart. And that might lead you to having to decipher the cryptic hints around and do something very particular with the poltergeist that will end up stunning the ghost. But in the end, they all go down the same. And I say this in a good way. You have to suck them up and hold on for dear life. This is where the majority of your fun is going to be had. It's just a rush to be able to suck on the ghosts and then have to wait for the number to pop up and pull them down. And you're not only just pulling, but you're having to, pull it away from the direction that the ghost is trying to escape. So there is a little bit of complexity as you gotta pull yourself so you don't get dragged around as Luigi, and you have to pull the C-stick in an opposite direction. That way, you're doing more damage to the ghost. But once that ghost hits 0, you suck him up into the vacuum, and you can practically feel accomplished because you probably just cleared the room. These main ghosts that you're clearing for the rooms may vary in appearance and make the game always just more interesting because no painting ghost is like the last. They're always bringing a new challenge to the table and make a rush that I talked about before, but it's just something I love it. With all of them being different and they all fit into the room that they're in, you can tell that the game was crafted with a lot of love, as most Nintendo titles are. Now that the room is clear, everything is hunky-dory, right? Well, not really. As you go throughout the game, you'll find out that well, spoiler alert I guess, boos are behind it all, and that you're going to have to capture them as well. This is where the Game Boy horror really comes in useful. It will indicate whether or not there is still a boo in the room you have just cleared of its main ghost foe. This will lead you to having to hunt down the boo in a really interesting manner of you're following around the dot. Once you find that the signal is strongest, you'll need to interact with the object. But the boos, they're different compared to the other ghosts. They're both easier and harder. So you find the boo. You begin to suck it up. You with me so far? They can keep getting away. And it's not like when the others run away and you're able to just pull them back in. No, they're allowed to escape the room too. So you may be just about to get one and they just fly over the wall and pop out of the room. Now, it's not as bad as I was trying to make it seem. It's kind of easy to catch them if you just follow them in the hall, and then you can finish them off there. But for some, it's a little bit more tricky. Needless to say, you might be chasing them around for a little while. I found while just playing through the game that the atmosphere was absolutely amazing. It doesn't just make the part with its graphics or music, it makes you really feel it. And it's not creepy like you would expect, but you feel it through Luigi, who is creeped out. And you can relate to him through the emotion of that. And it accomplishes this by having Luigi change how he walks and how he even hums in the game. If he's in a dark room, he'll tense up and clench his teeth and you can see it, and he'll hum to the soundtrack a little bit, but it's really nervous and it's almost eerie in a way. But if the room is cleared and there's nothing to fear, he walks around a lot more relaxed. You see his nose jiggle because that's a physic that they had to make sure they got right. And he'll hum just kind of normally like any person on the street. As well as one of my favorite little touches that also goes with the tensing and stuff, it changes how these work. But if you hit A while you walk around, you can give a shout for Mario, and it's so nice because it's just one of those little touches where it's like you're searching for Mario. Mario! You shout it, trying to find him. I little things like that just always kill me. Luigi's Mansion is by far one of those games I thought I would love, and I wasn't disappointed. I did love this game a ton. Even though I had never played it up to this point, it always interested me, and I'm glad I finally ticked it off my list. And with Luigi's Mansion 3 just around the corner, I'm definitely going to pick that up and give it a play, because just I loved this quick little game that I got to play. And that's another really nice thing I enjoyed about the game, that it was too long, it was nice, quick, and sweet, and I enjoyed it beginning to end, and I'll probably play it again sometime. I hope Luigi's Mansion 3 just kind of lives up to the par in which this one's set. I've been trying to avoid the stuff that's been leaked online, and I'm just so happy. I saw a trailer today, and I absolutely loved it. So with that being said, of course, thank you guys for watching another video here on That Game Review Show. It's been a pleasure making this video for you. I loved playing through the game. As you can tell, I'm a little tired when I'm recording this part of the video, but I must press on. Next week is Matthew's week. I don't know what he's got going on, but I'm sure it's something great. So come back and join us again then. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit like and subscribe. And if you're really itching for the next video, make sure you hit the bell too. Anyway, if you don't do that, I hope to see you again next time, Wednesdays at about 3 p.m.